What's up, guys? So we're looking to Vilitionraxx today, and Volition has been doing some interesting things as of late. He said that he quit being an anarchist, and he's not super duper happy at his old friend Christopher Zazzle. I'm not sure exactly what Christopher Zazzle has done to Volition, but whatever it is, it's gotten on Volition's nerves. I think he figured out that, after everything, Zazzle is, still messing with him, that he's not really his friend, and you're gonna hear a lot of that coming out of Volition's mouth during this stream that we're gonna be going over. It's quite an interesting debacle where he's screaming and shouting to the top of his lungs. It's unlike anything you usually see from the little guy. But Vilitionraxx here, he's going to be showing us exactly how much he's sick and tired of Willem Gloryhole, Christopher Zazzle, among Discord people. He's just generally not happy. And Clark is another character that we're going to be going over really, really soon. But I want to go ahead and dive in with his little freak out towards Christopher Zazzle.
Oh, you're so dramatic here, Christopher Zazzle! How about you just leave me the hell alone? Just leave me the f*** alone, Chris! You can just leave me alone! Oh, I guess Clark was right! He said Volition would betray me! You kissed my ass! Do I look like I give a f*** about you, Chris? Do I look like I give a f*** about you? I did not betray you because I had nothing to do with you at all! You delusional mafia piece of shit! You're nothing but a gangster mafia piece of shit, Chris! You can just leave me the f*** alone! I had nothing to do with you anymore! You get on my nerves, Chris! You and this Italian mafia, Clark! Clark is the name of the fucking Italian mafia who's going after me! Oh, I know who the hell is Clark! You told me about Clark! I know who the hell is Clark! Clark is the name of the Italian fucking mafia! And I know you working for him! I know you work for the Italian mafia against me! Just because, I refuse to join the Discord!
It's wild that he believes that the Italian mafia is after him, and this Clark character that he's bringing up a lot is supposedly his arch nemesis. I don't know too much about Clark himself, but from what I can understand, Clark has been calling the facility that Old Volition's been staying at, doxing locations that he's been to, things of that nature, essentially. This is his biggest troll, and, it reminds me of that Daniel Larson troll Clark, but they're not the same people, obviously. It's a different Clark. For any Daniel Larson fans wondering, no, it's not. This Clark character, he has been giving Volition a really rough time, and I guess he's been telling Volition that he's part of the Italian Mafia or something, and that's why he's bringing it up a lot, which is interesting, because Vilitionraxx is now at the target of the Italian Mafia, He's already the target of people like Donald J. Trump and the Chinese triads or something along those lines. I'm not really sure. Volition has very strange beliefs in himself. He seems to believe that he's so important to this world that he has all these enemies going after him, all these huge mega groups, that you wouldn't want to mess with, like the Mafia and Italians. So it's quite something. And he's very vitriolic towards everyone he's talking to in this stream. He wants nothing to do with Christopher Zazzle in the slightest. He just wants Christopher to leave. And that's because I think at this point he's figured out that Christopher Zazzle is a buddy troll. Really big shocker there. Who would have thought that much? But he's just not happy in the slightest at Christopher Zazzle. And it just, oh man, I've never seen him scream this much before. But unfortunately, Vilitionraxx isn't very loud in this one. He doesn't freak out a whole lot. What I showed you is pretty much his entire little freak out. But it's after this that things kind of get quiet and a little bit interesting whenever he starts talking about, well, the bricking situation with the baby. If you know about that story, you can go check out my previous video about Vilitionraxx. It goes over that subject. So yeah, go check that out if you want. But he talks about that subject, and he really seems to just completely not care about it, which is bizarre because it's part of the reason that he's in this situation. And then also he believes that he may get removed from the United States because of his social media accounts, of which he criticized Donald Trump and Republican groups. He believes that he can be arrested and detained, I guess, because of it. I'm not really sure where his mind is, but he listens to political jargon all day, so it was probably from that, my best guess.
Oh, Clark hates you because you threw a brick at the kid. Because I did not know that there was a kid inside the van. I did throw a brick at the van, but I did not know there was a kid in there. In fact, I was trying to purposely miss, but I accidentally got them. Oh my gosh. Clark is, I knew that Clark is the Italian Mafia who was going after me. Oh gosh, the Italian Mafia.
Of course, the Italian Mafia are going after you. Sure. I'm sure they believe that you're important enough. You know, this guy who doesn't owe them any kind of money or resource. They would definitely go after you. It would definitely be in their best interest to waste their resources to get this guy, all right? But Clark is angry at Volition. He said it right there because of the whole bricking a baby situation. And you can kind of hear him flip-flop in one sentence. First, he says there that he didn't know there was a baby in the car. And then the next few seconds, he says that he was trying to throw it away from the baby. Well, you know, that's all great and good, but, you know, Volition, why did you throw a brick at a car in the first place, dude? Like, oh my lord. But he has a history of vandalism. He's damaged vehicles before. If I remember correctly, he went to a bunch of cars in his neighborhood and started kicking them in the bumpers, I think. I'm not really sure, but he's doing his community service on screen here. And it's unofficial community service. He's doing this because Willem Gloryhole and Clark, I guess, are giving him a really rough time. And he believes that if he does this, this will get him off his back, which obviously will not be the case. But I also want to criticize his little cleaning habits here. Look at him as he's holding the grabby arm with one arm or both arms and then not holding the bucket with him. This could be a lot more efficient if he just got like a shorter arm and carried the bucket in the other hand. Not sure, but you know, maybe I'm criticizing too much.
Yeah, I am telling my story, but first I have to explain about how dangerous Discord can be. Discord, people just pretend to be your friend. They just pretend to be a good friend, but it turns out they're just stabbing you in the back in the end. They're just berating you. They'll berate you. They'll yell at you. They'll threaten you. They'll dox you. Yeah, this is exactly how bad the Discord can be. I can't trust the StreamYard either. We don't know how dangerous Kira said we know how dangerous Discord. No need to tell us. Okay, fine. I don't have to tell you folks about how dangerous Discord is. But but this is how I explain to all of you, especially Mr. Gloryhole, about why I'm staying off the Discord. And Mr. Gloryhole still telling me to get back to Discord. It's not fair. I don't want to be... Oh, that's okay, Kira. But yeah, that's how I explain about why I should stay off the Discord. It's very dangerous. Stepmom said that I was been slowly myself by always being in Discord.
Now it brings up the Discord here in Willem Gloryhole and how dangerous it is to be on Discord. And it's just like, no, dude, it's not dangerous to get on Discord. It is dangerous to leak your private information on the internet, however. And Volition, you've been very prone to be doing that. You've admitted to so many different things from your mouth alone. I mean, you confirmed about the bricking baby situation. You confirmed that you would hang out at elementary schools when you were in your early 20s. It's weird, man. And whenever people hear about that, they don't like it. You tend to make a lot of enemies that way, Volition. And it's not just Discord that's leading you to these situations. It's also just being on the internet in general. You know, I mean, you don't have much of a fan base, so I'm questioning you on why you're even still making streams and videos and content. I mean, you don't really have much of a following, and the following you do have are nothing but trolls. They're from the Cyrax community, and they're not there for any good reason, or your good intentions, at least.
Well, stepmother told me not to talk about my story about how I was been arrested. She said that it will affect my immigration. It will affect my immigration. And, yeah. And I'm not lying. It's true. I have to listen. I always have to listen to my stepmother. That's how my stepmother restricted my rights. Restricted my rights. But she's the only one who's helping me to get my citizenship. Oh my gosh. Why everything is restricting my right? Oh, only one you should listen to is William Gloryhole. That's it. Yes, yes, I listened to Mr. Gloryhole. Which is why I've been cleaning up my backyard and never had a private video. I never posted the gaming video. I never been doing a gaming stream.
You hear him at the beginning of the video saying that he's not allowed to talk about being arrested, and that's in reference to the bricking a baby situation, and I'm going to continue describing it like that because bricking a baby is, it's quite the statement, but it's also probably better for the YouTube algorithm if I say that instead of alternatives. However, beyond that, Volition is talking about Willem Gloryhole telling him to not post videos, and he's talked about not posting videos privately, that is, because Vilitionraxx was caught earlier at the beginning of this month. He was caught posting videos privately that weren't public. I'm not sure why he was posting them, but he was posting like 10 videos a day. For those of you who don't know, there's a maximum number of videos you can upload a day, and that number is 10. He was uploading 10 videos a day, every day, that was not being watched by anybody. And, you know, I haven't seen all of that content. It's privated, so it's probably never going to be leaked. But from what I can understand, it was a bunch of gaming videos that he just kept on uploading and then privating. And he claims that he's going to be keeping them for memory's sake. You know, if he ever mentions any kind of memories or remembering the past and posting videos about it privately, that's what he's referring to. Which obviously, who in their right mind would rewatch a gaming video that they themselves made? It's like you were there for it. Why would you need to watch yourself play a game? Unless you were editing the video, I guess? I don't really know, but Volition here, he kept on uploading videos privately. Willem Gloryhole found out, and let me just say, Willem Gloryhole was not happy about it, and so now he has to worry about that, in which, instead of uploading them on YouTube, I guess his hard drive is full of these videos that he's gonna upload one day, I guess. I don't know why he would make videos and then never upload them, but, you know, that's him, I guess.
Yeah, I would like to explain about that. About me, we threw a brick at the van. It was because it was because I have the worst day ever. I always have a bad day. Well, because, well, no, I was meant that it was back in 2019. I did not know there was a child inside the van. I did throw a brick at the van, but I did not know there was a child inside. And until they did tell me there was a child inside, and I was shocked. I was like this. Oh my god. I was like, oh my god. I felt so bad. I felt so bad about what I did. I felt so bad.
Now, I'm sure everybody's had a bad day, but nobody's tossing bricks in the vans, buddy. You know, I have had many different kind of bad days. Never threw a brick at nobody. Hell, I never even threw a punch. But old Volition here is claiming that because he had this horrible, no good, terrible day, that old, brick had to be thrown, you know? Like, I don't feel any kind of remorse or any sense of sorrow in his voice whenever he's talking about all this stuff. I don't buy it for a second. The only reason he's talking about it now and that he feels terrible about it now is because people are calling him out for it. In fact, Volition has been asked before what is the worst thing he's ever done, and he straight up said posting videos on YouTube and becoming a lolcow. It's not throwing the brick. No, that's not the worst thing that he's ever regretted. No, it's posting videos and getting Willem Gloryhole angry at him. Totally worse.
Yeah, I know it is similar to what Cyraxx was doing. I did not want to be like Cyraxx. I'm not meant to be like Cyraxx. I'm not meant to act like Cyraxx. I don't want to be like him. But I just don't like how anybody who is pretending to be my friend and then play a victim and then call me a criminal, heartbreaker, traitor, accusing me of doing anything. Like the fake friend who's played victim and accusing me of doing something that I didn't do. Accusing me of committing a crime that I have not been committed. This is just trolling. They just spread rumors. I don't like having a fake friend who's playing a victim and spread rumors like this about me like that. Bring up the drama and playing victim. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate the attitude that someone give it to me.
You know, I'll be honest here. He is superior compared to Cyraxx. I mean, at least he's done something and he went outside and he actually did what the trolls demanded. Cyraxx typically doesn't follow up with what the trolls want, like getting off the internet or dancing or some other nefarious task they want him to get up to. And Volish should genuinely help the community. I mean, he's been cleaning up the house. He's been cleaning up areas of his neighborhood. I mean, I'm showing that off right now with his little Home Depot bucket, which is actually a neat cause, you know? For a moment, whenever I was hearing about him doing this, I was thinking, oh man, is this lolcow? Is he actually gonna get out of the situation that he's in? Is he gonna change and make a new list for himself? Is he gonna become like a landscaper or something? Is he gonna start mowing lawns? Is he gonna get hired? Well, the answer to all of that is no. Because usually whenever he does this kind of stuff where he's cleaning trash up on the streets, he only does it for probably around 30 minutes, probably around an hour. I'm not sure, but it's not long enough for him to do actual work. And on top of that, he says that this is the hardest job that he's ever gone to and did. And you can see there, he's got like a half bucket full of just dirt and trash and stuff. So I'd say he's doing a pretty good job out there. I just wish that he would do it for longer than 30 minutes. But, you know, 30 minutes is greater than 0. I'll give him that. But beyond that, he doesn't really have any greater qualities about him. I mean, the guy, he just sort of like hangs around his home all day and leeching off of his mother, probably some kind of social security services too. And he has no formal education. This guy doesn't know how to do basic math. I don't know if he understands geography, like where east or west or north are. I mean, I have no clue, but he has no education, and so that's going to be a very tough time for him in the real world whenever it comes to getting hired and going to job meetings and applications and stuff. You know, the work competition for him is very much against him with the state that he's in. And he talks about not being a citizen of the United States a lot, and I'm not sure if that's true or not. I think he is a citizen of the United States personally, and I'll tell you why. It's because he's been part of the system for so long. You know, maybe you could correct me, but my opinion is he's been in this system for a while. He's been walking around as a free man. If he was an illegal immigrant, somehow walking about with nobody catching him, with the entire internet on his back, then I don't really know. And then on top of that, he's been seen in police reports also. There was a police report that I showed off in my last video about him, and that had his real name in it, so the government has to be aware about this guy. So if he was illegal, you know, I feel like they would get rid of him, but, you know, leave your comment down below on what you think is up with him. I have no clue. He's a complete liar. He tends to not tell the truth very often.
It's just not safe. And I really, 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 really want to leave this country. But stepmother said that I have to be a citizen of the United States to be able to leave the America. Stepmother said that I have to be a citizen just to be able to leave the United States. In fact, plus, there will be a martial law. I'm afraid there could be a martial law in America. I don't know when. I don't remember when, but they said that it's in April. Well, I'm not gonna repeat that. Sorry, sorry, I'm not gonna repeat that. But right now, back to the country. Which video that talks about martial law? So they said that there will be a martial law in April 20th. Well, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. No, martial law is not really fun at all. This is just really scary. Martial law would take away our freedom.
Volition talking about martial law is by far one of the most fascinating things ever, because he claims to be an illegal immigrant, but then he also claims to have the same rights as, you know, a citizen of the United States. You know, maybe I'm getting a little too controversial with that statement, but those are two weird. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And then he talks about leaving the country, but he can't get out of the country because he's an illegal migrant and he's not a citizen. I guess I don't have a clue on what he's talking about. He's not working anywhere, so he doesn't really have a job. Nobody's really. He's not really helping anybody, so I don't know why he's here other than to just be here. I mean, it took Willem Gloryhole and Zazel and I guess Clark to get him to do community service, picking up garbage, which was a really phenomenal thing. I mean, genuinely, even despite his character flaws, him doing this kind of thing was really helpful. You know, making the world a cleaner place. He's doing a good job. Genuinely speaking. I mean, look at all that garbage he's getting. And I'll preface that enough. He should just keep sticking to doing this, and everybody would probably agree that this is a cool thing that he's doing. You know, despite his character flaws and the weird things that he's done, picking up garbage in your local area is a good thing. You know, maybe you shouldn't be getting on stream talking about politics. Maybe this is your calling, man. You know, instead of going out there and cleaning more yards and wearing those pretty star boots that he's got on, Vilitionraxx is gonna get on the internet and admit to his crimes of stealing music. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, he's been stealing music apparently. Why he admitted this, I don't know, but I guess somebody asked him if he did music, so he decided to go ahead and admit that he's an art thief, that he's stealing music. And you know, he is not doing himself any favors of admitting this stuff.
I did take all of the music and mixed them with the other music that I also stole it. Mix them together. Yeah. So yeah, I'm being really truthful. Those music that I have, which is my own music, are not original. My own music are not original. Most of my music are stolen. So, well, I'm not gonna share how I make my music. I'm not gonna share because that would be really risky.
And just like that, he's got his hand in the cookie jar and he's saying, look here, I got a cookie. Volition, why are you telling people this, man? Why are you just digging yourself a bigger hole than you've already dug? I mean, you could have just not said this. You could have just went like, yeah, no, I don't make music, but I did make some remixes of stuff I liked, you know. I personally enjoy hearing this music together over each other. You know, that would have been a better answer. That would have saved your skin a little bit more because, you know, if you made your own private remix instead of stealing it, that would have been different. But no, you were trying to claim the music as your own, dude. That's not cool. That doesn't hold up.
And most of the content creators don't share the ingredients about how they make their own music or editing their own video. They're not sharing that.
What are you talking about? Why would you know anything about being a content creator? You don't create content. You just admitted to stealing stuff from musicians, dude, and then splicing them together to try and make something original. This reminds me of those people who produce AI soundtracks or AI art and try to monetize themselves through it, which is a ridiculous thing to try and do, by the way, because you aren't creating the AI art. The AI is creating it, you know, and you're getting it for free. Anybody could do it. It's a very low skill thing to do. It's the equivalent of turning on a button. I mean, Volition, my guy, don't talk about content creators and acting like you know things. I mean, besides, if you did tell people how you made your music, or stole it, that is, then yeah, I guess that would be a danger not to yourself, but to the other people who are creating music. You know, if you teach people how to pirate music, they have a tendency to go do that. So, yeah, don't do that, Volition. However you pirate your music, I don't know. You probably just download it from Spotify. I guess. I have no clue.
But it's not a big deal if I stole the music and uploading them as mine. Some do. Well, I'm the type of person who doesn't share. Oh, thank you, Low3Dev. I would really like to live stream outside with my phone, but I don't have enough subscribers to be able to use my phone to live stream.
And it's just there that he says it's not that big of a deal if he takes music and re-uploads it on his channel. And it's just like, yeah, maybe if you're giving the original artist credit and you're not trying to monetize yourself through it, then yeah, I guess it would be fine if you re-uploaded that song. Especially if it was already on YouTube to begin with. But dude, you're not creating music. If you're gonna claim that song as your own, you're stealing that, and you're saying that you're stealing it. So logically, you're still claiming it as your own, dude. I mean, which is it, dude? Is it not that bad, or is it good that you stole the music? Because you're kind of like flip-flopping between it. You know, I don't know why you think this is just not a big deal. It's sort of like the bricking baby situation. Although obviously that situation is far worse than stealing music. But as we go through this fun little stream here, someone, Kirikane, I believe, tells Volition to show his hard drive to reveal what he has on there. Now, I'm not sure exactly what they expect him to have on this hard drive, but if it's something terrible, you know, he could be arrested for it, depending on the content. But I'm not sure. I can't really say anything about that. You know, I've heard things about him. He said things revolving around kids and hanging out with kids in his early 20s. I mean, this guy, again, he was hanging out in an elementary school whenever he was about 20.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I might accidentally dox myself. I'm not gonna I can't show my hard drive. I can't show my hard drive. That's a bad idea, Akira. That is absolutely a bad idea. That is a really bad idea. Showing my hard drive is a very, very, very bad idea. That could be self-doxing. Nobody should force me to dox myself. No one have right to force me to dox myself. No, I was meant to, I was almost accidentally showed my own email or password, but it turns out none of my email is shown. Not even my password has ever been shown. Thank goodness. That is just too scary. That's too scary.
Now, I don't understand why he would have his password and email on like an image on his computer. I guess if he wanted to have it for safekeeping on his computer as like a file. But, you know, usually for me, I write that stuff down on paper, man. You know, you forget your password about stuff, write it down on paper. You know, you'll have it forever. It's not going to be accidentally deleted or changed or something like that. I mean, I just wonder whether it was actually his password or whatnot that was on screen that we couldn't see, because I'm pretty sure they uses OBS to screen record and stuff. I'm not completely sure what program he uses, but regardless, he probably had something suspicious up, something weird. I'm not sure. I have no proof of that, but it's not surprising. He feels like the kind of guy to have some really wild stuff in his hard drive. I've seen his DeviantArt, and if you guys remember his DeviantArt, he's very obsessed with like impaling belly buttons. I'm just gonna talk about it like that. Impaling belly buttons, as funny as it sounds, it's his actual thing. He likes that stuff. He likes it a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. There's not too much else to really talk about whenever it comes to Vilitionraxx. I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. So let me go ahead and do my shout outs. Now I'd like to shout out Toasted, Sweaty Prolapse, Swifters, Gunslinging Brett, Nightmare Doxies, Lilith Victoria, Mike Oxsmells, Bobby Queso, Corey Rosales, The Girl Next Door here, Shining Wiz TV, Scooter746, Mo Transformer, Tubby Thunder, Zorl Champion of First Claw, Sushi Cat Yum, Pepper Box, Funky Fresh Salvador, Gamerman, Pie Kisser 222, Miss Pissy, Drew York, Michael Furburger, Seam Sparta, Mars, Silva Jin, Young Duck, Red, Hurricane, Really Rotten AOW, The Juggalo Goku Gaming and Podcast, Dutch Chad, Visigoth Bakera, Husky Leaf Gaming, Periodically Correct, Matthew Hibbard, Great White Hype, Love It or Hate It, Trixie Bella, Brooks Looks, Mitten Pews, Moth Loves Attracting, Claus Anal Schwab, Honey Bee, OGG, Sucks and Danius, Chiefy Keith, Costas, Jack Burton, Sofa Ninja, Loopy, Kino Tech USA, N76, Raspy Wolf, Mr. Masquerade Killer, Jin Tees, Adam M, Little Willie, Afro Rob TCG, Zeb Plepson, Bart, David Stinky Finger, Phil Mack, Junsey, Iko, Cachette, Megan is a Ghoul Lover, Princess Keys, Bucky, Revocation TV, Bunnies Make Me Happy, Electric Lou, Emily Drake, Gilliam, RBL, Zeg McDonald's 2, Raymond Sanchez, Mark Lass, Lolcow University, Ricari, Never Around, Only Fighting Me, Troticus Maximus, Waterbury's Greatest Orderly, Ultra Mega Jesus, Jet Maximum, Peanut Mama, Abden, Sammy D, Oversoul, Python Sarah, Dreadhead David, Ice, Wallow, Magic Princess, The Black Pearl, Joshua Robert, Depressed Rabbit, Noda Lizardman, Honest, Edward Walden Hain, Slash and Mini Films, Haley Cantaloupe Cakes, Nick Cliff, Atomic Renegade, Steve from Worm Haven, Evan Reed, Curse Decals, Lord of Worlds, TJ Bender, James, Honda Civic, Tana's Finest, Digital Dream, Roboto San, Bakano Sensei, Poofy Mood Cakes, Mad 33s, and Dark Chocolate. Thank you guys all for your support. I am making my little comeback in videos, and I'm gonna be doing stuff again, my friends. I love you all. Take care and have a safe trip to wherever you're going, or maybe a safe night. Wherever you are, stay safe out there. Don't do anything Volition would do, and peace out.